Yo, what's good? It's your girl Tay, back with another video, and we're gonna call this segment But Wait, There's More. I feel as though lately we, including myself, have all been seeing clips or reading the bare minimum and assuming without doing our research. So I want to kind of just dive in and provide more facts or more information as it relates to some of the things that tend to go viral. Recently, there was a new video that went viral of a pastor who put together an event to kind of have a discussion about racism and ways that we can all come together. The pastor's name is Louie Giglio. He is in Atlanta, Georgia. It featured him, Lecrae, who is just a Christian rapper, as well as the chief officer or the person who running Chick-fil-A. They were all sitting down and having a conversation. What made the video go viral was that there was a very small conversation in which the pastor, Louie, suggested that they change the word white privilege to white blessings. I know, right? So I'm going to go ahead and play it so y'all can hear it from his mouth and not mine.
A lot of people call this white privilege, and when you say those two words, it just is like a fuse goes off for a lot of white people because they don't want somebody telling them to check their privilege. And so I know that you and I both have struggled in these days with, hey, if the phrase is the trip up, let's get over the phrase and let's get down to the heart.
Sure.
Let's get down to what then do you want to call it? And I think maybe a great thing for me is to call it white blessing.
Now, I decided upon myself when I first seen it. I said, let me do some more research. Because for me, it was like, y'all tripping over a name. We're tripping over an entire system. You can have that name. That ain't nothing. Let's deal with people who are actually dying because of the color of their skin. But, after listening to the video or listening to the podcast, because it's in podcast form and it's also on YouTube, there were a few things that was said where I understand where he is coming from. Amanda Seales said she don't got time. She's on her trampoline.
I don't got the time. I'm on my trampoline. This is my time.
I feel as though you cannot get upset or feel some type of way about others who do have time to explain to white people what exactly is going on. Lecrae got so much backlash because people felt like he didn't really use the platform to really speak for the people. I feel as though you have to choose your battles. As someone who is from the North, there are some times where white people are just not going to understand, and it's not my job to force you to understand. I can only give you a few pointers. After that, I'm done wasting my breath. However, when you watch the video or listen to the podcast, Lecrae does share how, they talk about Jesus was murdered. How can you not understand that black people are murdered? They talked about white people don't see the issues that's going on, so they thought that changing the name would help them better understand. I get it. I don't see how blessings would be seen as the good in slavery, but for them to look at it as you are blessed because of the struggles that came from slavery, you were able to come out on top. So because of that, you should be able to want to give back to those of color because of the good that came out of slavery for them. They also spoke on, you cannot say that you are a follower of Christ if you do not love like Jesus. And because Jesus loves all, they were just saying that you should be able to love those of color and want to see what you can do to change or be better. I just felt like there was so much backlash and anger towards Lecrae, who, he's just trying to do what he can do. I think people misconstrue the fact that everyone ain't gonna speak on your behalf just because they have the same color as you. I think that what he's trying to do is what other people are not doing, which is going into a room full of white people or going into a church predominantly white and saying, hey, I'm gonna use my voice to say what I can. And he may not be able to do everything, and I'll go ahead and share his apology. He also spoke on how there's a reason why there's white churches and black churches, because we were not allowed, and how that, to be intentional and realize what's going on around you for the white people. I think that it was a really good podcast to listen to. I feel as though there has to be room for us to understand that people are trying and to give them that at least. I just think that his wording was wrong. I would definitely suggest listening to the podcast just to kind of get a better vibe and feel. But I don't want it to be that we just kind of chalk someone off for one thing when there was so many other good things that was left in that podcast or interview or sermon, whatever you want to call it. Again, my name is Tay. You can follow me on all platforms at Yo What's Good Tay.
What's good, Tay?